Starting a business in the agriculture industry can be a rewarding and lucrative venture with the increasing demand for food. The agriculture industry is expected to continue growing in the coming years. If you're considering starting an agriculture business, it's important to choose a business that has the potential to be profitable. In today's video, we'll highlight 18 of the most likely agriculture businesses that have the potential to make you rich. From growing and selling produce to raising livestock and providing agribusiness services, these businesses offer a range of opportunities for entrepreneurs looking to enter the agriculture industry. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand your existing agriculture business, these ideas are worth considering. Be sure to leave a comment, give the video a like, and hit the subscribe button. Fish farming has attracted a lot of investors looking for a high profit margin. If you own land, fish farming may be a highly practical choice for you. To build a fish farm, you don't necessarily need a body of water. Simply investing in fish tanks or even building artificial fish ponds on your property can be a good place to start. Fish farming is an incredibly scalable and highly profitable industry. A wide variety of fish, including cod, tilapia, silver trout, tuna, eel, salmon, grass carp, rainbow trout, catfish, and many more, may be raised. Some of these fish require very little care, while others need regular upkeep and care to develop and begin reproducing. Beetle leaf, often referred to as beetle leaf, is green and a member of the pepper family. There are more than 90 different species of beetle leaf worldwide, with 45 species present all over India. The country uses it primarily and extensively in various vocations. With favorable climatic conditions, beetle leaf is grown as a commercial crop. There are many varieties of beetle leaves popular all over the world. In many countries, these leaves are used in religious ceremonies and are also coveted for the health benefits associated with consumption. Beetle leaves cultivation is very profitable under proper management practices. One of the lucrative members of the orchid family is the fragrant vanilla vine. This tropical climbing vine is well known globally for its aroma and flavor, as well as its impressive profitability. Vanilla has developed into one of the most expensive spices on the market. It is estimated to provide an income of about $10,000 per hectare. Vanilla comes in more than 40 different varieties and usually peaks in 3 years after planting to produce its first crop. After this, they keep doing so for up to 12 or 14 years. Vanilla crops are typically grown as an intercrop in fields of coconut and rencounte, but its vines can also be grown indoors in a greenhouse or even in pots and other small containers. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world because it can be quite difficult to cultivate. Interestingly, it's not the plant's growth that takes so long, it's the fact that you have to remove the saffron threads from each plant individually when it's time to harvest them. Still, with enough time and effort, it is possible to grow it yourself at home and profit handsomely. Due to its versatility and ability to be used in a wide variety of recipes, saffron is and will continue to be a highly sought-after commodity. It is estimated to provide an income of about $10,000 per hectare. The days of having to get your hands dirty in order to grow plants are long gone. Today, a wide variety of crops can be grown without ever touching any soil, and additionally, you get to increase your profit significantly. Hydroponics is a type of horticulture in which crops are grown without the use of soil. Mineral nutrient solutions in an aqueous solvent are used. Hydroponic farming is an extremely profitable venture. For context, an acre of farmland will yield between $200,000 and $250,000 per year compared to the yield of between $20,000 and $30,000 that traditional farmlands will fetch. Of all the crops you may cultivate in your home garden, lavender farming is one of the most lucrative in arid environments. This plant thrives in the sun. Spring or fall is when the planting of lavender seeds or cuttings begins. If you're just starting, choose spring because that's when the earth is warming up. Everything involved in cultivation is simple. If you have a few additional areas and the right conditions for growing, you can start growing them right now. The commercial cultivation of lavender can serve as a huge source of income in the right circumstances. Selling fresh or dried lavender can bring in up to $120,000 per acre. Additionally, you can increase your income by producing your own value-added lavender goods like lotions or soaps. Lavender has the wonderful property of being profitable to cultivate on almost any size. Silk farming, according to silk farmers, is possibly the easiest type of agriculture to practice with excellent returns and an unquenchable market. To produce the highest quality harvest, farmers must comprehend and adhere to a set of careful steps involved in silkworm farming. A simple process error could end up costing a farmer money and result in subpar silk. A silkworm's entire life cycle lasts 45 to 55 days, with the egg stage lasting 10 to 12 days, the larval stage lasting 25 to 30 days, the spinning of the cocoon taking 2 to 3 days, the pupal stage lasting 5 to 7 days, and the adult stage lasting forward 5 days. The female silkworm lays her eggs in a dim, well-ventilated space to begin the silkworm rearing process. Depending on the harvest, silk farming could generate $10,000 per hectare and more. In addition to being a great hobby, flower gardening can also be a successful venture, especially when you first begin. Millions of plants are available, and there are countless combinations that can be made. In general, floriculture offers fantastic opportunities for those who love gardening. Additionally, the floriculture industry has good financial potential for those who choose to go on a large scale. You should take your investment potential, land acreage, agroclimatic conditions, and local market demand into account. Though flowers are a delicate commodity, maintaining flowers' freshness and marketability requires adequate post-harvest treatment. While flower growers claim average sales of $25,000 to $30,000 per acre, we are aware that this entirely depends on the industry they are selling into, the area, and the grower's skill level. Areca nut, which is a common chewing nut, is produced by the areca nut palm. Due to its extensive consumption, this nut is in high demand. The areca nut is popular with religious rituals. Interestingly, this nut is a fruit that belongs to the drupe family and not a real nut. It is possible to have the fresh, cured, and dry forms all commercially accessible. Generally, areca nut growing for commercial purposes is regarded as a successful agriculture business and has been suggested to fetch over $10,000 per acre, although this largely depends on accessibility to the market. The areca family and areca genus are the origins of this nut palm. It is necessary to maintain bees in the wild. Bees construct their hives, which can be located anywhere but are typically found in hollow tree trunks or other protected areas. As a backyard beekeeper, it'll give your bees a constructed hive so you can support the colony's upkeep and quickly gather honey. The beekeeper in the backyard, or on a bigger scale, has a few distinct options. The most prevalent varieties are Langstroth and top bar hives. The best way to organize beekeeping duties is by season. Much like gardening, the optimal time to establish your hive is in the spring so that the colony you start with has enough time to mature, lay eggs, and store honey before the winter arrives. Beekeepers make an average income of $40,300 in salary. It is also possible to earn about $500 per beehive. Plants are propagated and cultivated to the proper size in nurseries. But how much money can you make from a plant nursery? In truth, profit margins have the potential to be extremely high. Even if you start with a small space and low initial investment costs, you can earn a massive return on your investment. Even if you decide to start a relatively large-scale plant nursery, your initial investment will be extremely low. All you really need to worry about is the land, and even then, you only need a small area to get started. As a matter of fact, the average income one can make from a plant nursery business is $63,731 per year. Some nurseries specialize in particular fields, which may include retail sales, growing out plant materials to a marketable size, propagation, and the sale of small or bare root plants to other nurseries. In an integrated farming system, a string of multiple agricultural practices is combined in functions like an ecosystem, where all of the components are interrelatable and balanced. A substance's waste might act as a nutrient for another. The result is the best possible use of the available resources and nutrients, the restoration of the ecological balance, and an increase in the farmer's revenue. Ultimately, farmers enjoy increased crop and livestock income, reduced waste disposal efforts, and improved soil health. All of these advantages for farmers also guarantee the long-term viability of agriculture. Interestingly, some of the businesses can only be started to boost the farmer's revenue without any connection to agriculture. Integrated farming is likely to provide an average annual income of $60,000, which is affected by factors such as the experience of the farmer as well as the quantity and quality of seed, among others. The industry of raising livestock or animals is quite promising. You can start raising livestock in your backyard on a small scale or even on a huge scale. It gives the crop enterprise drop power and manure, which could then offer feed and fodder. Only lately has it become clear how important cattle organs can be in the production of drugs like insulin. However, we have long benefited from animal farms in several ways. They give us milk, meat, eggs, and honey. These animals' skins, hides, and even hair have all been utilized to create blankets and other items. Livestock farming has been a very lucrative agriculture business over the years, and estimates show an average income of $202,000 per farm can be realized. Agricultural systems that practice agroforestry cultivate and use trees, bushes, and livestock alongside crops. Agroforestry promotes long-term sustainable and renewable forest management, especially for small-scale producers. It is a realistic and affordable way to put many forms of integrated land management into practice that aims to lessen human impacts on the environment. Profits from agroforestry are real and exist. Agroforestry is more profitable in traditional agriculture, according to long-term studies. For example, Tanzanian agroforestry farmers combine locally sold crops like beans, bananas, maize, and cassava with cash crops like cardamom to generate a variety of income. In some cases, this equates to a yearly profit that is up to 13 times greater than that of their neighboring farmers. Growing medicinal plants is seen to have the potential to be a significant source of agricultural income. Returns from regular crops fall. This is owing to the belief that medicinal plants have various advantages over regular crops, including a high price, reduced transit costs due to a higher value per unit volume, and a long shelf life. Growing medicinal plants can be integrated into current cropping or farming systems and offers considerably better net returns than growing agricultural or horticultural products. Medicinal plants have the potential to provide in excess of $50,000 per year, depending on factors like the size of the land and type of plant. It's interesting to note that the commercial poultry farming sector promises a high return on investment in a remarkably short period of time. Only a few types of poultry, like broiler chickens, mature and produce income more quickly in comparison to all other livestock businesses. The financial return period is very short, usually between 23 and 40 days. Although in the case of some other birds, it appears that the monthly wage for broiler farmers may vary or even last longer than 6 months. Products made from poultry don't cost much, and the majority of people can afford them. Interestingly, it makes more money during the festive and holiday seasons. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest numbers indicate that a chicken farmer's salary averages about $70,000 per year. This is based on their statistics that say chicken farmers are in a median hourly wage ranging from 16 and 27 cents to 57.47, with an average hourly wage of $33.71. Producing fruit juice is a very lucrative industry to be involved in. This is a result of a continued rise in fruit juice demand and taste since the raw material is easily accessible and costs little to nothing. It also becomes significantly more affordable for farmers who now grow fruits, even if the only capital an agriculture business owner may need to invest in this venture is the money needed to pay for the equipment and facility rentals. The profits assurance over the long term is rather large. Governments, on the other hand, are well known for providing tax benefits to these businesses to lower unemployment and increase exports. By taking this mentor, business owners can retain more of their earnings to support expansion and other programs that foster development. Fruit juice production could average an income between $100,000 and $600,000 depending on the market size for the product. Foreign may be built around grains, which are among the most widely produced crops on farms. Grain farming is, contrary to popular belief, a very thorough and fascinating concept. It takes a lot of work to cultivate grains. A farmer may have an endless source of employment depending on the crops being raised. Although many variables can affect grain development, they ultimately finally lead to some fantastic yields. Among the most popular grains in society, for instance, are whole grains like oats and barley. Farmers of grains will take the time to make sure that conditions are favorable for their growth. There will eventually come a moment when crops must be removed from their current location before being stored in the appropriate location. Grain producers could earn an average income of $79,000 per year. So there you have it, the 18 most likely agriculture businesses that will make you rich. Be sure to leave a comment, give the video a like, and subscribe to the channel for more insightful future videos.